What's up, guys? Welcome back to Spoil Ryan TV. Got another reaction video for you guys. And sometimes people just get lucky. And on this list, it's going to explore some teenagers, like probably not over the age of 18, who just they they got dealt a good hand. Like it's insane how some of these teens got lucky. And I watched like the first like minute or two of it just to make sure this wasn't just like some type of BS top 10 list. But some of these teens, like I recognize them, and it's like, wow, man, like these guys got rich off of that. So that's how I know that this is gonna be really good. So I'm starting from the beginning. Thank you guys so much for watching. And I think one of the girls on this list you guys are gonna recognize instantly because she's on Dr. Phil. She was on Dr. Phil, and she has like a meme of her on like every platform, every social media platform. All right, let's get into it.
The road to wealth is often a long and confusing road, as it all depends on timing and skills. But the people you're about to meet managed to get rich with perfect timing and a hint of absurdity. Here are 10 teenagers who became filthy rich for ridiculous reasons.
There she is.
Now that you're here, be sure to pay attention, because have we got a quiz for you. We'll let you know what the question is soon, and the answer will be revealed at the end of the video. Whether it's your first time here or you're a regular, be sure to click on the red subscribe button and be one of the first to know every time we release a new video. Aaron. Known only as Aaron for security and privacy reasons, this 19-year-old New Zealander is raking in over $3,500 a week from racketeering. He uses stolen credit cards to buy gift cards so he can buy merchandise, and then sells said merch for a profit. For example, he can buy someone's credit card info for $6.50 and then sell the purchased product for hundreds of dollars. Of course, what he is doing isn't legal and can get him into a lot of trouble should he get caught. He doesn't work with anyone else from New Zealand and even has employees all over the world to help him with his dirty work. He throws parties full of alcohol, and he even drives an Audi A5, which means he likes to flash his money around. He does operate a legal e-commerce business as a cover-up for his racketeering work and is currently in school pursuing a degree. Aaron had aspirations for wealth at a young age and had a goal of reaching his first million by the time he was 18. When he didn't reach that goal, it took an emotional toll on him and he became desperate for a solution. He has a goal to increase his profits and make $50,000 per week. Danielle Bregoli. If you don't know who Danielle Bregoli is, then you might know her better as the "Catch Me Outside, how about that?" girl.
Yep.
If you still don't know who she is, consider yourself lucky, even if that lucky streak is now broken. 13-year-old Danielle Bregoli was on the Dr. Phil show in 2016 for not only engaging in controversial behavior, but she also challenged the audience to fight her with her famous line, telling them to catch her outside, how about that? It seemed that overnight, Bregoli became an internet sensation. She was condemned for her behavior by most well-functioning adults, but yet she was admired by the younger generation. People became obsessed with this teen and started following her on social media, catching the attention of sponsors and advertisers. Bregoli has gotten to the point where she can charge an appearance fee, sign autographs, and get the full celebrity treatment. Rumor has it that she is getting paid up to $40,000 to make appearances, which is more than some people's annual salary. She even has bodyguards now and has gotten a full makeover. Of course, this is enabling and rewarding bad behavior, causing the younger generation to want to emulate Bregoli by not listening to their parents and breaking the law. Jordan Marin. While no longer a teenager today, Jordan Marin managed to hit the jackpot when he was just 18 years old in 2010. Most of us love playing video games, and the activity is typically associated as being juvenile. Basically, video games aren't supposed to be a money-making endeavor unless you're a game developer or tester. If the name Jordan Marin doesn't ring a bell, then maybe his online pseudonym, Captain Sparkles, will. That's right, Marin made his fortune by posting videos of himself playing Minecraft. He had an earlier channel called Pros Don't Talk that consisted of him playing Call of Duty. Since the start of Captain Sparkles, Marin has gotten nearly 9 million subscribers on his channel and over 2 billion views. For an advertiser, that is a dream come true. That was when the money started rolling in and Marin dropped out of college after the first quarter of his sophomore year. In December 2011, Marin made YouTube his full-time job. You could say that Marin made his wealth by just playing video games and allowed the world to watch him play and react. In 2015, just 5 years after he went viral, Marin bought a mansion in the Hollywood Hills that is worth $4.5 million. That's not too shabby for playing video games and giving commentary. Maddie Bradshaw. There's nothing like a soda from a glass bottle with that classic bottle cap. Chances are, after you've opened your beverage, you discard your cap and that's it. But you might be throwing away a fortune. 16-year-old Maddie Bradshaw made $1.6 million in her first year of business. What was her brilliant idea? She makes jewelry and locker room decorations out of soda bottle caps. Bradshaw started this endeavor at the age of 10 when she was looking for locker room decorations and didn't like her options. So her uncle gave her 50 Coke bottle caps, and the rest is history. She ended up creating her own company called M3 Girl Designs, and Bradshaw was featured on the show Shark Tank with her mom and little sister. The Sharks were shocked when she made over $1 million her first year, and they were eager to invest. Bradshaw ended up selling her company and started a new line called Spark of Life, still covering jewelry. Before she was barely old enough to drive, Bradshaw had enough money to get her own car. In 2012, she published her own book, calling it You Can Start a Business Too, which caters to young people who want to start their own businesses. Gary Martin. In Ireland, the legal drinking age is 18, but 15-year-old Gary Martin was already assisting in running a nightclub. By the time he was 16 years old, he had already bought his own property and was making massive cash. When he was 17, he moved on into the world of property management. At 18 years old, Martin was worth $20 million. By the time he was 19 years old, he accumulated a joint share in a multi-million-dollar property portfolio. Getting those kinds of business smarts usually doesn't come naturally, and one has to go to school for some time in order to get skills like Martin's. The fact that Martin is almost like an Irish version of Donald Trump before he was out of his 20s and a whiz in real estate is pretty ridiculous. But it is reality. It only goes to show that age really is just a number, and if you got it, you should work it. Today, Martin is one of the most powerful business tycoons in the world, and he has a lot of years left ahead of him. Time will only tell when it comes to what else Martin can accomplish.
Wow.
It's quiz time. Which filthy rich teen married someone who was 35 years their senior? Keep watching to find out who it is. Abby Fleck. Where are all of our bacon lovers at? Can you imagine living life as one of the rich and famous because of bacon? We're not talking Canadian bacon either. While bacon isn't necessarily the healthiest item on the menu, it is certainly one of the most delicious. We have come up with so many ways to integrate bacon into our diets that the cooking process had to change. In the 80s and 90s, there was a common concern over bacon cooking in grease and oil. So when Abby Fleck was just 8 years old, she managed to come up with a way to cook bacon vertically in the microwave so all of that grease wouldn't be a factor. The invention was called the Macon Bacon, and her family got a distribution deal with Walmart. This ended up making Abby a multi-millionaire by the time she was in her teens.
Wow.
Fleck's fame also skyrocketed as she was the face of the product's infomercials, and she was getting guest spots on talk shows left and right. Before she was old enough to legally babysit, Fleck financially secured herself and her family, making her teen and adult stages 2 wealthy chapters in the book of her life. Mike McDonald. In our society, gambling is typically seen as crude and risky behavior, and something that people struggle with. Not to mention, gambling is also highly addictive. You can lose all of your money with gambling, all for the hope that you can make yourself a millionaire. But oftentimes, gamblers find themselves broke and destitute. But Mike Donald is not one of those people. The Canadian gambler started playing online poker at the age of 15. He was motivated to explore gambling as an option when his parents started pressuring him to get a job. He didn't want to go into a conventional job market, and as it turned out, he was pretty good at gambling. Before he could even legally play, McDonald was making more money than most adults. As a teen, he was worth more than $5 million. If you're wondering if he kept playing after his teens, the answer is yes. At the age of 24, he was the third person to reach the $10 million mark in his winnings. Who knew that if you literally play your cards right, you can reach financial freedom without having to go to school or go the traditional route in this game we call life? Farrah Abraham. Before Danielle Bregoli came along, there were many who thought that Farrah Abraham was out of control. You could add this to the reward for bad behavior pile, but Abraham seems to be a special exception. Abraham was 18 years old when she gave birth to her daughter, and her story was featured on MTV's 16 and Pregnant. Then, Abraham was cast in the spin-off show Teen Mom. In a society where premarital sex, let alone teen pregnancy, is typically looked down upon, Abraham let it become a cash cow. Some took inspiration from her story as coming out on top after a life of abuse, while others thought that Abraham became rich because she was fooling around and the cameras were there at the right place at the right time. As a society, we enjoy judging people, which is why reality shows have become so popular. Plus, thanks to social media, we have an outlet to express that judgment. Abraham managed to press the right keys and catapult herself into stardom. Today, Abraham is one of the most famous people to come from the MTV reality show world and has even published a book and appeared on shows like Celebrity Big Brother. Matt Wegrins. One of the most popular professions is real estate, where you can make a decent living depending on what kind of property the buyer invests in. The same goes for the world of the internet. The way that Matt Wegrins became filthy rich is so simple that it's ridiculous, and you'll wonder why you didn't come up with that same idea. At just the tender age of 17, Wegrins started buying and selling domain names for an impressive profit. Even though the concept is simple, it takes a lot of time and research for Wegrins, because he has to know what is trending and what would make a profit. Not to mention, he also has to be a smooth talker and convince buyers that purchasing said domain name is a good investment and business decision. He even acts like a domain name real estate agent, talking to owners and convincing them to sell their domain name, which he resells at a nice profit. You could even say he's flipping domain names. Some of his greatest sales have sold for over 6 figures, which ends up making him one of the youngest and most wealthy entrepreneurs in the tech world. Courtney Stodden. Before she was 16 years old, Courtney Stodden was in the beauty pageant circuit and was venturing into modeling. On the recommendation of her maternal aunt, she signed up for an online acting workshop with Doug Hutchison, and her life was changed forever. The two dated online for about 6 months, with Hutchison unaware of her actual age. When he figured out her real age, he told her mother about the relationship and said he would cease it if Stodden's parents weren't okay with it. Ironically, her parents allowed her to make her own decision. Stodden would become not only rich, but famous as well when she married 51-year-old Hutchison when she was just 16 years old, making her husband 35 years older than her. If you're unfamiliar with Hutchison, remember the sadistic, creepy guy in The Green Mile? That's him. They were married in 2011, and Stodden was thrust into the spotlight as people were truly fascinated by the marriage. Of course, with a circus act like this, Stodden was bombarded with reality show opportunities as well as interviews, making her a filthy rich superstar. Sadly, the couple separated and are working on their relationship. Which filthy rich teen married someone who was 35 years their senior? That would be Courtney Stodden, who was 16 when she married her 51-year-old husband, Doug Hutchison. Tell us what you think about these filthy rich...
Wow. So, guys, we got a lot of work to do, man. We should have been... We got to start, like, getting that shit together. Excuse my language. Because, you know, if these guys can do it, so can we. We really got to start, you know, finding some type of hustle. Because the money's there, we just got to work for it. But let me know in the comments what you guys think. Let me know in the comments if you believe that it's possible to do anything like this, or maybe these guys, like, you know, took the opportunity and now we have to find something else. Or maybe, just maybe, you think it was just pure luck and these guys were all just, like I said in the beginning of the video, dealt the right hand, and it had nothing to do with, you know, work ethic or planning. It's truly amazing how sometimes the simplest, just the most completely uncomplicated, you know, plan or business venture can make someone that much money. Like, some of these ideas are just wow. Like, why couldn't I think of that? You know? But yeah, man, that's it for this one. I'll see you guys on the next one. All right, peace.